Packing has been given a low priority because for most maintenance bases it's not a routine task. Parcels were produced using the materials to hand without much thought for the items being sent or how the courier would handle them. Because packing material had to be hunted out, the task was viewed as an irritating chore, so was often delegated to staff who had no packing knowledge, training or guidance, who would not be directly or indirectly affected if the item was damaged and lost from use, generating the feeling that the responsibility for the packing ceased once it was handed over to the courier. An increasing number of damaged items in recent years stimulated the need for a working party to look at packing standards, find new packing techniques and arrange for new packing materials to be available from central stores and held on site. The working party soon realised how out-of-date packing techniques had become and were surprised that the damage level was small when compared to the number of parcels shipped, achieved more by good luck than judgment. Hopefully, their recommendations presented in this video will reduce the increasing levels of damage.
The solutions to our packing problems fall into two basic areas. Make parcel production easy while safe for the item in transit, and give basic training to those who do the packing. Let's start with how to make parcel production easier and safer. The standard technique we're going to adopt uses a box within a box concept. The sizes of the inner and outer carton are determined by the standard size cushioning which fits between them. By careful choice of carton size, a small range of materials has been designed to remove the uncertainty of what to use. Each carton can be used as the inner of the next largest carton or the outer of the next smaller. This concept has many knock-on advantages. The reduced range eases storage and allows bigger buys of each item, resulting in substantial cost savings. Special purpose packs will be introduced and made to fit one of two carton sizes. Because materials will always be available, cannibalization of the expensive special purpose packs is prevented.
There are two new ideas involved with the new standard packing technique: isolation and cushioning. Isolation. The delicate surfaces such as meter glasses, projections and especially edge connectors must be isolated from impact forces with a rigid material. Don't try to protect them with soft foam. Now on impact, nothing can touch them. Instead, the load is spread evenly onto the rigid parts of the item. Damage will only occur if the rigid material compresses enough to allow bottoming to occur. Using this technique of locating the rigid parts of the item and isolating the delicate parts using the cushioning material, which is a closed-cell foam, build the package into a rectangular shape to fit into one of the standard size cartons in the range. This is known as blocking and bracing. We've now produced a standard size package and should move on to cushioning, but first let's consider an even easier method of isolation.
For certain modules, special purpose packs will be introduced, as those already available wear out. They'll fit inside one of the standard size cartons and will have blocking, bracing and isolation voids permanently fixed, and will open out flat for storage. If one of these is available, use it, but please don't cannibalize it for use in ad hoc packing, as they do cost more than the standard cushioning material because they'll be produced in smaller quantities. We now have a standard size carton and can see how we can further spread any impact force by cushioning.
Cushioning. If a parcel is dropped and hits the ground, or it is thrown and it stops suddenly, the heavy item inside will try to keep moving in the same direction. Because it can't, its energy has to be given up. The forces produced by this have been directed to rigid parts of the item and are spread by the blocking and bracing to the sides of the carton in which the item is contained. These are large in area compared to a projection, which, if not isolated, would take all this force over a very small area. The large areas of the carton's sides will be cushioned by the standard size high-density ether foam cushioning material, which separates the inner and outer box. This material will absorb the forces and spread them to the larger area of the outer box. The number used will be 4, 8 or 12. And the distribution of the standard cushioning material depends on the overall weight of the item. Use 4 if the item weighs between 0 and 5 kilograms, 8 if the item weighs between 5 and 12 kilograms, and 12 if the item weighs between 12 and 25 kilograms, and distribute as shown.
The cushioning material is easily cut to length with a sharp knife, then folded into its working position to fit a 90-degree corner when required. The box within a box concept has another advantage over a simple carton. If parcels are dropped onto each other, especially if the falling one has sharp corners or projections, the outer carton will protect the inner against all but the most severe accident.
This parcel production is a nice easy technique, but we can still make things easier by setting aside a packing area station. This area should be close to the point where goods are delivered and dispatched. A packing station is basically a work surface of between 1.5 to 2 metres long by 1 to 1.5 metres wide, fitted with a rotary cutter for cutting lengths of bubble film, foam or corrugated paper. It's useful to have a full-width shelf to hold tape dispensers, tackers and other large items. A drawer for marker pens, knives, labels, cutters and the small tools required. The bubble wrap or foam can be stored under the work surface. Now almost everything is to hand. Because the range of cartons we are using fold flat, we can store packaging materials near the packing area or station.
The range of cartons we're using extends from the smallest to the largest, which has about 16 times the volume. All of the cartons are a flat pack design. This will conserve up to 2/3 of storage space and give a cost saving of almost 1/3. The cushioning material of standard length is also designed to store flat. It should now be possible to develop a small packing station with all the necessary materials, cartons, a table, weighing scales, tools and labels. In fact, everything you need to package properly. And it won't be difficult to keep an eye on stock levels and to reorder materials early.
In this area, it will be useful to display simple guidelines of the new packing technique, clearly showing the do's, don'ts and remembers, as an aid memoir to the training which you will give your staff. Posters will be supplied to remind them of the basic packing principles covered in the MIP A711. These can be posted at eye level on any convenient wall in the packing area. If an item is damaged, it has to be repaired or replaced, and someone has to pay for it. If the packing is not to the standards of these new procedures, no claim can be made against the courier. It's the manager's responsibility to ensure these new facilities and materials are provided. If they're not, the base sending the item could be charged for the cost of repairs or replacement.
With training in mind, let's move on to solve our second problem. This video has already shown us how to package properly, but nobody will keep up a high standard of packing unless they know why and are reminded occasionally. Staff should be aware that some assemblies are made up from several modules inside a framework. They could contain heavy objects such as transformers or batteries. These can break loose and cause internal damage. Items like this should be removed whenever possible and packed separately. Polystyrene grubs or chips must not be used instead of rigid isolation or cushioning material. Vibration in transit causes the equipment to sink towards the carton's bottom face. If the carton is dropped on this face, the equipment has no protection and would certainly be damaged. The most likely drop a parcel will receive is from about waist height or from the tailgate of a vehicle. So any package must give protection for a drop of about 1 metre.
If you received a damaged item, your biggest problem is the inconvenience. Finding the cause of damage, talking to the courier, the sender and insurers. The man-hours increase again if you have to arrange the repair. You have to order the broken items. They will be expensive and out of stock because they don't normally fail. The long delays are now out of your control. These costs can often be more than the value of the damaged item. The sender can also be inconvenienced. An item such as a power supply would be replaced by a temporary spare. Often the variable bench supply. The loss of this will affect several more people, causing frustration and more time lost to staff not directly involved. So encourage the people who will be affected to do the packing.
Most of us have no idea what happens to our package once the courier collects it. so we asked Securicor if we could show you. They were delighted, as they currently are computerising their service. So let's follow a parcel ordered from Central Repair Services through Securicor.
IBA Central Repairs.
Good afternoon, this is Terry Williamson from Cacao. I've just changed the UHF amp. That's a 904555 from an LG T50S Mark III at Stroud. Can you send me a replacement to Cacao, please?
Yes, I think we've got one of those in stock. Is it for ITV or Channel 4?
It's for ITV.
ITV, right. And what's wrong with the one you're sending back?
The output's low, the fuses are okay. I think a TPV595 has gone, as there's no base emitter current.
Okay, we'll send one via Securicor, and if you send the faulty unit back in one of the customised boxes, cartons, please.
Yes, I think I can manage that. That'll be okay.
Bye.
Cheers, Dan. Bye-bye.
Different types of module at CRS, so over 30 different special purpose containers are used to pack them safely. These are stored in the packing area close to the packing station. Everything is to hand to make even an ad hoc packing easy. Securicor are progressively introducing a computerised parcel service, which will be complete by the summer of 1993. Already in use is a new method for sorting called the county sort. The country is divided up into 11 areas for overnight services and 8 for sea services. Each area is colour-coded, contains a group of counties and follows the boundaries. Each has its own label showing the destination, terminal number and barcode.
Regular customers will become customer service centres and will be asked to attach service and destination terminal labels. The parcel will be collected and a barcode from the service label attached to the collection document. The parcel is taken to a local sorting terminal where the loaders check the destination terminal number and route the parcel accordingly. The driver peels off the barcode bullet from the service label and puts it onto his delivery document, which is read into the computer for checking before dispatching the parcel. The parcel is delivered overnight to a main terminal before being routed to a local sorting depot or Cacao, then delivered by smaller vehicles to the maintenance base. Our parcel's been on and off at least 3 vehicles and handled by maybe 12 different people.
If you do receive a damaged parcel, the new MIP A711 will help you decide the action to take. But remember to make a note of any damage on the driver's delivery document before signing it. If any of the packing material is damaged or just worn out, throw it away. Cartons are only a fraction of the cost of the items they contain. If the packing looks all right, it can be opened out by cutting the sealing tape, then stored flat again. Don't try to remove the tape. This will weaken the carton, reducing its life. Try and do the packing yourself, and not delegate to someone who does not appreciate the problems of heavy objects, delicate surfaces, projections or bottoming, and won't be affected by the item's loss if it is damaged.
Light and robust items will not be a problem to pack, so a tuck and flap carton has been introduced to complete the range of packing materials. By following these guidelines, we'll be able to make parcel production easy while protecting the item in transit, use the box within a box technique, provide isolation and cushioning, wherever possible use a special purpose pack,
Set aside a packing area and station. Store packing materials to hand. Display simple guidelines.
give basic training to the people who'll do the packing. Keep up a high standard of packing. Show how the courier handles our parcels.
Throw away damaged or worn packing. Keep adequate packing materials in stock.